When a narcissist sees you becoming too strong, they don't just give up. They play one final dirty trick. Carl Jung uncovered something truly disturbing about narcissists, something most people never notice until it's too late. When they realize they've lost control over you, they don't just walk away. Instead, they use a final, powerful manipulation that can undo all your healing in a matter of weeks. If you don't see it coming, it can pull you right back into their trap. But before we dive into this final trick, you need to understand the mental games that lead up to it. According to Jung, a narcissist's biggest fear isn't being rejected or abandoned. It's when you become stronger than them mentally and emotionally. His work on the shadow self revealed that narcissists survive by projecting their own flaws onto others. This lets them maintain the illusion that they're in control. But once you begin to heal, set firm boundaries, and stop playing their games, they start to panic. Jung called this a power inversion crisis, a moment where everything shifts. Here's where it gets intense. Narcissists aren't looking for love. They're looking for control. They feed off your energy, your confusion, your need for approval. When you were lost or insecure, you were exactly what they needed. But once you start gaining confidence and reclaiming your power, you become a threat. Jung warned that this is when they attack in a new way. At this stage, they'll begin using something Jung called psychological projection warfare. They flip the script. Instead of criticizing your weaknesses, they start targeting your strengths. You might hear things like, "You've changed and not in a good way," or "You think you're better than everyone else now." This is no accident. Jung said narcissists do this because they recognize that your strength is the one thing that breaks their control over you. So they try to make you feel ashamed of the very traits that set you free. This tactic is called strength shaming. If you've learned to say no, they'll call you cold. If you found your voice, they'll say you're aggressive. If you built confidence, they'll call you arrogant. They're trying to convince you that your growth is actually a flaw. But if that doesn't work, they move to something even more dangerous: nostalgic manipulation. They'll start saying things like, "I miss the old you," or "We were happier before you changed." This is an emotional trap. According to Jung, they're not missing the real you. They're missing the version of you they can control. And when both of those tactics fail, they bring out their deadliest weapon: manufactured vulnerability. Jung explained that narcissists are experts at sensing your empathy and using it against you. Right when you're at your strongest, they suddenly become helpless. Maybe it's a health scare, a money issue, or family drama. But Jung believed it's never random. It's carefully timed to pull you back into their world. They want you to feel responsible for saving them. They know exactly what makes you feel guilty or compassionate. Jung called this emotional blackmail at its finest. Even worse, he warned that narcissists will sometimes create these problems themselves, just to make you step in. It's not about needing help. It's about regaining control. They might say things like, "I know you don't usually lend money, but this is different." Or, "I know you said you need space, but I need you now." These just this once moments are actually tests to see if you'll betray your own boundaries to put them first. Jung called this the ultimate manipulation because it makes you question everything you've worked so hard for. And it works because it feels real. But make no mistake, this is calculated. So how do you protect yourself? Jung gave us the answer. Practice what he called differentiated compassion. You can care about someone without being responsible for fixing them. The truth is, helping them shouldn't mean hurting yourself. Ask yourself, is this making me more who I really am, or pulling me away from that? In the end, Jung's most powerful message is this: narcissists fear your strength because it reminds them of what they gave up, the chance to grow. When you stop playing their game, you show them what real power looks like. Every time you stick to your boundaries, every time you choose yourself over manipulation, you take your power back. Their final trick only works if you forget who you are. But once you see it clearly, you'll realize it's nothing more than desperation in disguise. And that's when true freedom begins.